सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। Namaste सर्वेभ्यः. Welcome you all to the next session of Sangeetharatnakara-An Overview, offered by Arsha Seva Kendram every Thursday at 6 p.m. IST. Sangeetharatnakara is a magnum opus by the 13th century musicologist, musician Sharngadeva, who is revered even today by all musicians, music lovers, lovers of music, learners of music, especially in the Indian music field. He has weaved so many shastras into Indian music and come up with this fantastic work. As you all know, there are 7 chapters in Sangeetharatnakara: Svaragatadhyaya, Ragavivekadhyaya, Prakirnakadhyaya, Prabandhadhyaya, Taladhyaya, Vadya and Nartanadhyaya. These are the 7 chapters. And according to Sharngadeva, Geetam Vadyam Tatha Nrittam Trayam Sangeetam Uchyate. So we were discussing about the Svaragatadhyaya, first adhyaya, which has 8 prakaranas, sub-chapters. And among them, we discussed about the first 3 in the last few sessions, Padartha Sangraha Prakarana, where it was a collection of all the topics that are to be discussed in this grantha. Pindotpati Prakarana talked about so many aspects of Nada evolution, Shabdotpati, and how there is a relationship between Jivatma and Brahma, Parabrahma. And then in the Nada Sthana Shruti, Swarajati Kula Daivata Rishi Chanda Rasa Prakaranam, it was a beautiful description of Nada, how this, how we usually don't understand the depth of Nada and how we should recognize Nada. It was such a beautiful discussion actually. And then, Sari Vire Bhute Raudre Dho Vibhatse Bhayanake Kayo Ganitu Karune Hasya Shringarayor Mapau. That's what he says about the rasa aspect in the swaras. We have to observe here, with respect to every note, certain characteristics that are described in this third prakarana: the family line, color, continent of region, the rishis, presiding deity, daivata, meter, and aesthetic delight. All these topics, for a critical mind, they are not appealing actually. But in the Vedic tradition, every sukta, every mantra of the Vedas is endowed with a seer, with a rishi, with a presiding deity and a meter. And there is some aesthetic appeal also in the Vedic mantras. Same way, Indian musical notes are also carrying that legacy, and it will be appreciated only by such minds who are in pursuit of Nada Yoga, Nadopasana, whatever you want to call it. Also, this characterization helps in the individual image of each swara. It also carries the doubting mind, clears the doubting mind of its query about why only 7 swaras and not more. So the concept of rasa or an aesthetic mode with the individual note certainly is derived from Marga Sangeeta. That's what we understand by this third prakarana. Now moving on to the fourth prakarana of the Svaragatadhyaya, which is titled as Grama-Murchana-Tana Prakarana. What is a grama? Grama is a group of tones, swaras, that forms the basis of Murchana. The word grama in Sanskritam means a village. A village is more or less a community by itself. So, in musical parlance, how do we understand grama? It denotes not only a collection of musical notes, but a group of notes organized into an integrated scale of 7 notes, which serves as the basis for musical compositions. As Kallinatha says, in musicology, grama refers to a group of swaras. But when we look at the linguistic aspect of swara, this definition would be too wide. Actually, there are 3 accents in Vedas. All of you know about it. Udatta, Anudatta, and Svarita. So, to preclude such an interpretation, grama is stated to be a group of swaras which forms the basis of Murchana, etc. And here also he says, etc. means what? Murchana series, Tana series, Alankara series, Gamakas, Jatis, and so many other things of musical compositions. So, Sangeeta Samayasara quotes Grama as a group of swaras having ordered shrutis constituting Murchana, Tana, Jati, and Amsha. According to M.S. Ramaswamy Iyer, Grama was an unsingable group scale consisting of Shuddha, Vikrita swaras collected together and preserved for the purpose of selecting from that group scale any desired set of 7 notes with a graha as starting point. This further could be sung in the Murchana way with the help of Amsha, Nyasa, etc. So, he comes up with so many beautiful concepts, and he starts with Gramaha Swara Samuhaha Syat Murchanadehe Samashrayah. So he says, Tau Dvau Dharatale Tatra Syat Shadjagrama Adimaha Dvitiyah Madhyamagramaha Tayoho Lakshanam Uchyate. The first is Shadjagrama, the second is Madhyamagrama. Then he talks about the definition, how to define this Shadjagrama and Madhyamagrama. Shadjagramaha Panchame Swachaturtha Shruti Samsthite Swopantya Shruti Samsthe Asmin Madhyamagrama Ishyate. So he says, Panchama, if located on its 4th Shruti, makes for the Shadjagrama. And it also means the 4th Shruti of Panchama is the 7th Shruti of the Karuna Jati. So these Jatis also we discussed in our previous sessions. And in the Shadjagrama, Panchama is located on the 17th Shruti. And as a result, Daivata has 3 Shrutis. You can understand, actually, already we discussed this topic in the previous one. So I'm not going into the details again. In the Madhyamagrama, Panchama is located on the 16th Shruti. So what happens? one of the Shrutis is paired to Daivata, which results in 4 Shrutis for Daivata. Thus, gramas can be distinguished either by the position and the extent of Panchama or Daivata. And talking about Gandhara Grama, Yadva Dhashrutihi Shadje Madhyame tu Chatushruti Rimayoho Shrutim Ekaikam Gandharaha Chet Samashritaha. So if Gandhara takes 1 Shruti each from Rishabha and Madhyama, Daivata takes 1 Shruti from Panchama and Nishada takes 1 Shruti each from Daivata and Shadja, it becomes Gandhara Grama. And this is declared by Gandhara Grama Machashta Tadatam Narado Munihi. So Narada, sage Narada, has declared how to understand this Gandhara Grama. Then Grama-trayasya Namasvaranam Vaishishtyam. So he says, next we discuss about how to understand these 3 gramas. Shadjaha Pradhanam Adyatvat Amatyadhikyatas Tatha Grame Syad Avilopitvat Madhyamastu Purassaraha. So what happens? Shadja is the chief. Everybody knows that. The most important tool. Without Shadja, it is very difficult to construct any composition. So it has more ministers in the grama. For Shadja, Madhyama and Panchama are Samvadi Swaras, concordant Swaras. And then he says, Madhyama also is in the forefront because it cannot be omitted. The 3 notes preceding it are quite in balance with the 3 notes succeeding it. So it is centrally situated and serves as a boundary line between the 2 sets of notes. So, according to Dattila, Panchama in the Madhyama Grama, Daivata in the Shadja Grama are not at all to be omitted. However, Madhyama is present everywhere. And being a descendant of the same family, even Gandhara is the prominent, it has the prominent role to play, and it is a prominent note in the heaven. Etat kula prasutatvat Gandharaha api agranir divi. Now, he next says the presiding deities of the gramas, Gramanam Devaha. Gramat, Gramatraye Devaha, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwaraha. The presiding deity in each of the gramas is Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, respectively. Then he talks about Gramanam Gana Kala Niyamaha. The periods of time as related to the gramas. Hemanta Grishma Varshasu Gatavyaha Te Yathakramam. So he says, in the winter, one should sing those who are desirous of, those who are desirous of prosperity in the should sing the Shadja, Madhyama and Gandhara Grama in the winter, and then in the summer, and then in the rainy season, according to their requirements. Purvahna kale, madhyane, aparanne, abhyudayarthibihi. So for prosperity, those who wish to prosper, that is what he says. But when he says one should sing only in Shadja Grama should be sung only in winter, only during the morning time, Purvahana. Madhyama Grama should be sung only in summer, only in noon. And then Gandhara Grama should be sung only in Varsha Rutu, monsoon, and then only in the afternoon. How does it work? So there are questions here. People are asking, is singing to be restricted to winter in case of Shadja Grama, to summer in case of Madhyama Grama? So if Gandhara Grama is not available here, so what should one do during the rains? If gramas were not meant to be sung, what is collectively referred to in the text by way of grama is the various types of melodic patterns or musical forms set in the pattern of the particular grama, such as jatis and ragas. So Matanga says the purpose of grama is to regulate the organization of Svara, Murchana, Tana, Jati, and Raga. Thus, it doesn't mean the text is saying not to sing during the rains or not to sing in the late evenings, nothing like that. It is only suggestive of another function of the three gramas, their individual suitability to a particular season. So, one should understand that even Gandhara Grama might have been prevalent sometimes in the forgotten past. So, all that the text implies is that the three gramas are more suitable for the three respective seasons and divisions of the day, but not that they are exclusively to be employed only on restricted basis. No such requirement. So many people say when we sing Malaya Marutam or Bauli, oh, you should not sing this in the evening, you should sing this only in the morning. Nothing like that. But morning, if you sing, that gives a beautiful ambience. It creates a beautiful ambience when you sing Malaya Maruta, Bauli, and then Bhupalam, all those beautiful ragas in Carnatic. And Hindustani also, you have very beautiful ragas that can be sung in the morning, that can be sung in the afternoon, like that. Then he talks about Murchanas and Kramas. Murchanaha, Kramaha. First, the definition of Murchana. Again and again, he keeps traveling between this Grama, Murchana, Grama, Murchana, Grama, Murchana. Kramat, Swaranam, Saptanam, Arohascha, Avarohanam. Murchanetyuchyate Gramadvaye, Taha, Sapta, Saptacha. So the ascending and the descending movement of the seven notes in successive order is called Murchana. There are seven Murchanas in each of the two gramas. According to Matanga, Murchana is derived from the Sanskrit root Murcha. Murcha Moha Samuchrayayohu. So to faint or to expand, to grow, to fill, to pervade, to penetrate, to spread over. So many meanings are there. So Murchana is defined as Murchyate yena ragohi Murchana ityabhisangita. That by which the raga develops is called Murchana. So there is an expansion. Basically, it is the movement ascending as well as descending of the seven notes, which is called Murchana in the text. Pandit Ravi Shankar defines Murchana as scale-wise progression in descending motion from the fundamental notes. But according to the text, it is both ascending and descending movement. The function of Murchana is to develop, to enlarge, to spread the raga. And then there are arguments and counter arguments with Murchana and of 12 notes as well. But this Sangeetharatnakara text, it settles for 7 Murchanas in each grama. Then he talks about Shadja, Madhyama, Gramastha, Murchananam, Sanyaha. The names of the Murchanas of the Shadja and Madhyama Grama. So Shadjetu Uttaramandrado, Rajanicha Uttarayata, Shuddha Shadja Matsarikrit, Ashvakranta, Abhirudgata. So Madhyame Syat. So he says the first of the 7 Murchanas in Shadjagrama is Uttaramandra, followed by Rajani, Uttarayata, then Shuddha Shadja, Matsarikrit, Ashvakranta, and Abhirudgata. Again, Madhyama Grama also has 7 Murchanas. They are Sauviri, Harinashva, Kalopanata, Shuddha Madhya, Margi, Pauravi, and Hrishyaka. Sauviri, Harinashva, Tatah Param. So, after the Shadjagrama, he has talked about Madhyamagram. Madhyame Syatu, Sauviri, Harinashva, Tatah Param, Syat, Kalopanata, Shuddha Madhya, Margi, cha Pauravi, Hrishyaka, Iti. Tasam tu lakshanam pratipadyate. So he is talking about the tonal form, or he talks about the various aspects of these murchanas. Next, he says, Atha tasam tu lakshanam pratipadyate madhyamasthanastha shadjena murchana arabhyate agrima. Their distinguishing characteristic mark is now being outlined. The first Murchana commences with the Shadja of the Madhyasthana. Here, question arises again. Why should the Murchana of the Shadjagrama begin with the Shadja of the middle Madhyasthana? Why not with some other note? But Bharata Muni says, Madhyama Svarena Vainavena Murchana Nirdeshaha. Murchana should be demonstrated on Veena with Madhyama Sthana only, because it is easy to establish the lower or higher registers when one is demonstrating with the Madhyasthana. Madhyama Saptakena Murchana Nirdeshaha Karyah Mandratara Siddhyartham. Then he says, Adhastanair Nishadadyehi Shadanya Murchanah Kramat. He is talking about this Sauviri. The first Murchana commences with the Shadja of the middle register, and the 6 other Murchanas with Nishada, etc., placed one below the other in the regular order. So what happened? Sarega pada ni, ni sarega pada, like that. So one below the other, like that. Then same way, Rajani and others are formed by Nishada that are placed on Shadja, Harinashva formed by Gandhara, placed on Madhyama, like that. So there are various discussions going on here about different Murchanas. And the classification of the Murchanas, Chaturdhatah, Prathak Shuddhah, Kakali, Kalitas Tatha, Santarastadvayopetaha Shadja Panchashadipiritaha. So the Murchanas are classified into 4 categories. They are Shuddha, Kakali, Kalita, Santara. So Shuddha literally means pure or natural. This type of Murchanas are composed in the Shruti relation. You can see the table again, 4, 3, 2, 4, 4, 3, 2, like that. And Kakali Nishada, Kakali inclusive is Kakali Nishada. It is intermixed with Kakali instead of Shuddha Nishada. And then third one is here actually in Kakali Nishad, inclusive there in the second variety. Shruti relation would be 4, 7, 9, 13, 17, 20. So after 17, you have 20 instead of 19. Then Antara inclusive, that is Antara Gandhara. It takes Antara Gandhara instead of Shuddha Gandhara. Then Shruti relation would be 4, 7, 11 here. And then 13, and then 17, 20, like that. So the fourth type, which takes both Antara Gandhara and Kakali Nishada instead of Shuddha Gandhara and Shuddhani. And all these pertain to Shadja Grama. And in Madhyama Grama, Panchama will be on the 16th Shruti instead of the 17th. So to get more clarity about this, if Nishada takes over 2 Shrutis of Shadja, then that Swara is Kakali. If Gandhara takes 2 Shrutis of Madhyama, then that Swara is Antara Gandhara. So here, Shruti Dvayam Chet Shadjasya Nishadaha Samsharayet Tada Sa Kakali Madhyamastha Gandharastvantara Swaraha. Then he talks about Murchana Sankhya Parignanupayaha, the method of indicating the serial number of a Murchana. So, Yasyam Yavatithau Shadjamathyamau Gramayoh Kramat Murchana Tavatithyeva Sa Nishankena Kirtita. In the 2 gramas, the serial number of a Murchana is that which corresponds to the position of Shadja or Madhyama in it. Then he talks about the Murchana Kramaha Tesham Sankhyacha. Murchana series and their numbers. Prathamadi Svararambhat Ekaika Saptadha Bhavet Tasu Ucharyantia Swaran Tan Purvan Ucharayet Kramat. So, te kramasteshu sankhya syat dvan. You see here, gradually, till now we have seen how an expert Sharngadeva is in the field of music, he is in the field of philosophy, Vedanta, and then he is a great expert in Ayurveda. He is a great expert in Hatha Yoga, and now another feature of his brilliance comes to the front here. So gradually he has become a mathematician now. We can see how he is bringing mathematical aspects into this. And he says these Murchanas are called Kramas. Of them, the total number is 392. Te Kramasteshu Sankhya Syat Dvanavatya Shatatrayam. So, when each of the 56 Murchanas, when they are multiplied, it becomes 392. So I want the whatever you want to perform or sing all that to be at the end of the class so that that flow is not disturbed. So we will, at the end of the class, you can exhibit how you sing this murchanas or play in your instrument. Then he talks about the Murchananam Devataha, the presiding deities of the Murchanas. See, every time we come across these deities, for each of the Swara, there are deities. For each of the Murchanas, there are deities. For Gramas, there are deities. That means there is so much of divinity in Indian music. यक्षरक्षो नारदाब्ज भवनागाश्विपाशिनः षड्जग्रामे मूर्च्छनानामेतास्युर्देवताः क्रमात्. So, Shadjagrama, the presiding deities of the Murchanas of the Shadjagrama, respectively, are Yaksha, class of demigods considered to be the gods of the treasures of Kubera. Then Raksha, name given to evil spirits. Then Narada, celestial figure, a sage, elevated to be a divine being. Then Brahma, all of you know, a creative aspect of divinity. Then Naga, the class of beings inhabiting the world below the earth, like unto serpents. And then Ashwins are the twin brothers, the sons of the sun, and the physicians of the Ashwini physicians of the gods, Ashwini Devatas. Then Varuna, god of the Vedic pantheon. And then the presiding deities of the Madhyama Grama. It is not that only one group of deities are available. They are the presiding deities of all the gramas. It is entirely different for Shadjagrama, entirely different for Madhyama Grama. And Brahma is the common factor in all. That's what we understand by this shloka. Brahmendra Vayu Gandharva Siddha Druhina Bhanava Surima Madhyama Grama Murchana Devataha Kramat. Then Narada Kathitani Murchana Namani. So Narada has given different nomenclature for the Murchanas. Tasam Anyani Namani Narado Munirabravit Murchana Uttara Varnadya Shadjagrame Abhirudgata Ashvakranta cha Sauviri Hrishyaka cha Uttarayata Rajaniti Samakhyata Rishina Sapta Murchanaha. So Narada says there are different the first in the Shadjagrama is Uttaravarna and then Abhirudgata and then Ashvakranta, Sauviri, Hrishyaka, Uttarayata and Rajani. And these are the Shadjagrama names given by Narada. And the 7 Murchanas in the Madhyama Grama are Apyayani, Vishwakrita, Chandra, Hema, Kapardini, Maitri, Chandramasi. And what is the most important thing is here the 7 Murchanas of the Shadjagrama, they all are named after rishis. Then he talks about Nanda, Vishala, Sumukhi, Chitra, Chitravati, Sukha. They are the 7 Murchanas of the Gandhara Grama. So, the 7 Murchanas of the Shadjagrama only are allocated to the rishis. So, these Murchanas only are considered to be of use in this world according to Naradiya Shiksha. Then the next topic, actually here I have provided one comparative table of Indian music and Western mode equivalent. You can look at it later. And then He talks about Tanaha. So, the formation and the number of the Shuddha-Tanas. The definition of Shuddha-Tana. The word Tana is derived from the Sanskritam root Tanu Vistare, meaning to spread, to stretch, to expand, to increase. Same way as we did for Murchana. So here also it is talking about expansion only. So Shuddha literally means pure, unmodified or natural. In this context, Shuddha implies an ascending and descending series of 7 standard notes placed in their regular order in the Shadja or Madhyama Grama. Shuddha Murchanas, by dropping 1 or 2 notes, become Shuddha Tanas. So Tana is a series of 5 or 6 notes according to ancient terminology. But in modern connotation, Tana is a musical phrase sung on vowel syllables or words drawn out by expressive passages, according to Pandit Ravi Shankar. Actually, in Carnatic music also, sing Tana means they will be singing Tana like that. These musicians. But according to the Sangeetharatnakara text, Tana has a different meaning. So there are Shadavatanaha, Audavatanaha. The Shadavatanaha, the hexatonic note series, if you look at it, Shadjagaha, Saptahinascha, Saptahinaschet, Kramat, Saripa, Saptamaihi. Tada Ashtavimshati Stanaha, Madhyame, Sarigojhitaha. So he gradually building up for the mathematical aspects of Sangeetam, the 7 Murchanas of the Shadjagrama by an individual omission of Sa, Ri, Pa, Ni in their respective turn make 28 note series, Tanas. So 7 Murchanas of Madhyama Grama by the omission of Sariga in turn respectively form 21 note series. I'll repeat, Shadjagrama, 7 Murchanas of Shadjagrama by omitting some swaras make 28 tanas, and then 7 Murchanas of Madhyama Grama by omitting certain swaras form 21 note series. So 28 and 21, both of them put together are considered to be 49 Shadava Tanas. Ete cha ekona panchashadubhaye Shadava Mataha. Then he talks about the Auduva Tanaha. There, actually, yes. Sapabhyam, it's not there. Okay. Okay. Auduvatanaha. So, sapabhyam dvishrutibhyam cha ripabhyam saptavarjitaha. Shadjagrame prathaktaanaha ekavimshati-rauduvaha. So, besides the 7 Shuddha Murchanas of Shadjagrama, being deprived of Sa, Pa, Ga, Ni, and Ri and Pa respectively, form 21 Auduvatanas, while those of Madhyama Grama, being short of Ri and Dha and Ga and Ni respectively, become 14. Together, they make 35. Ridhabhyam, Vishrutibhyam, cha Madhyamagramastu te Hinas Chaturdashaiva Syuh Panchatrinshattu te yuta. So 35. Together they make 35 tanas. And then he talks about Shadava Auduva Tana Milita Sankhya. So Sarve Chaturashitihi Syuh Militaha Shadava Uduvaha. Total number of Shadava Auduva combinational tanas, Shuddha tanas will be 84. These 84, that is 49 and 35. 49 of the Shadavatanas and 35 of the Auduvatanas. Together, they will be 84. Then, these are called 84 Shuddhatanas. Then, Kutatana Nirmanam Tesham Sankhya. He talks about the Kutatana formation and the number. Here, asampurnascha sampurnaha vyutkramocharitasvaraha murchanaha kutatanaha syuh. So, the complete or incomplete murchanaha with their notes produced in a particular form become permutational note series, kutatanaha. So, next he talks about Purna Kutatananam Sankhya. So, here the enumeration of the complete permutational note series would be Purnaha Panchasahasrani Chatvarimshadyutani tu. Ekaikasyam Murchanayam Kutatanaha Sahakramaihi Shat Panchashat Murchanasya Sthaha पूर्णाः कूटास्तु योजिताः लक्षद्वयं सहस्राणि द्व्यशीतिर्द्वे शते तथा चत्वारिंशच्च संख्याता. So those he arrives at 5040 complete permutational note series in each of the murchanas, including the krama. That how does he arrive at the 5040 kutatanas is like this. If you take two note series like sa, re, sa, if you take three note series sa, re, ga, re, sa, ga, so that ga is constant. Ga is at the end. Sa, re, ga, re, sa, ga. Then if you take re as constant, sa, ga, re, ga, sa, re. Then if you take sa as constant, re, ga, sa, ga, re, sa constant. So these are three note series. Then if you look at the three note series, if you observe the last note of the series is constant as long as possible. So next he takes a four note series. That table is exhibited in the slide. You can have a look at it. Sare, sare, gama, re, sa, gama, sa, ga, re, ma, ga, sa, re, ma, re, ga, sa, ma. So many combinations, 24 combinations. And finally, the total number of the complete permutational note series in the 56 murchanas comes to 282,240. Okay, so such a great mathematician also. And then it will be observed that on the basis of the above principle, the 24 permutations of the four note series have been classified and arranged in four groups to make it easy for understanding. And the notes ma, ga, ri, sa are constant. The position of other notes keeps on changing. If you observe in each of the column. First, ma is constant. Second column, ga is constant. Third column, ri is constant. Fourth column, sa is constant, like that. Similarly, 120 permutations of the Auduva series, 720 of the Shadava series, and 5040 of the complete series can be worked out easily. And then, Apurna Kutatananam Nirmanam. So, Atha Apurnan Prachakshmahe, he says, the formation of the incomplete permutational note series. Ekaikantyantya virahad bhedaha षट् षट् स्वरादयः एकस्वरोत्तर निर्भेदः api uktah nashtadi siddhaye. Now he discusses the incomplete permutational note series. In each of the murchanas, 6 varieties are formed that which has 6 tones, etc. by successfully dropping the last note step by step. And Apurna Kotatananam Sankhya. The enumeration of the different permutational note series, Syuhu Shadavanam Vimshatya Saha Saptashatani tu Auduvanam tu Vimshatya Sahitam Shatavishyate. Chatuswaranam Kotanam Chaturvimshatiriritaha Triswaraha Shad Dviswarau Dvavekaswarat Dvavekasto Ekaswaro Mataha. So the Shadava Kotatana series formed are 720, Audva series are 120. And there are 24 enumerated for 4 Swara Kotatanas. There are 3 Swara Kotatanas, then 2 Swara Kotatanas. Like that, he goes on and on and on. And then he comes up with the final figure, 2,02,284. Grand combinatorial expansion, you can say. So there is so much of mathematics. Then he talks about the Ekaswaradi Kotatana Chatushtayasya Namani, the names of the first 4 permutational note series. Archiko Gathikaschatha Samikotha Swarantaraha Ekaswaradi Tananam Chaturnam Abhidha Imaha. So, the names for the first 4 note series, such as monotone, etc., respectively, are Archikaha, Gathikaha, Samikaha, and Swarantaraha. Archika literally means relating to the Rig Veda. Rig is a hymn, is a mantra. And the mantras employed in the performance of sacrifices were sung in the monotone. यज्ञप्रयोगेषु ऋचाम् एकस्वराश्रयत्वात् तत्सम्बन्धात् आर्चिकः. Then, according to Kallinatha, mantras, while they are employed in the sacrifices, take resort to the monotone, and so, being related to them, the monotone is called archika. Next one is Gathika. Gathika is the one that is related to Gatha, non-Vedic religious verse. Likewise, the tritone is associated with Samaveda. The mantras were sung in 3 tones when employed for sacrificial purposes. However, Samaveda has ample evidence to show that its music was based on 7 notes. So Swami Prajnananda says, the Samagana was of various types with different numbers of tone in different shakhas, and they had different methods of rendering. Usually 3 or 4 or 5 notes were used in the Samagana. And this Kautuma Shakha, you must have heard about it, of Samaveda. This was presented with 7 notes. Actually, a long time back, I had done some recording for one dance program. That time, we did studio recording. That lady who was a dancer, Bharatanatyam dancer, she had brought one Vedic scholar. He was a Samavedi. So he very beautifully sung some Samaveda mantras, and some Samasrujovika. Like that it comes. It is so mesmerizing actually. That was long ago, but still I remember about that Sama Samagana. Anyhow, let us move on to the next one. Then Shadava Kotatana Sankhya. He next talks about Shadava Kotatana Sankhya. Uktaha Shuddhadi Bhedena निगयुक्ताश्चतुर्विधाः तयोः एकैकहीनास्तु द्वेधा मूलक्रमा मताः षड्जाद्यौ पञ्चमाद्यौ चत्वारः स्युः द्विधा चतुर्थान्ये दशेत्यष्टाचत्वारिंशदमी क्रमाः. So the original Murchanas such as Murchana series inclusive of Gani have been mentioned to be fourfold. He talks about Shuddha, Kakali inclusive, Antara inclusive, and then both like that. Then when one or more notes are omitted, they are considered to be twofold. This will result in the original series standing at 48 in all. Chatvarimshati me kramaha. The 720 mentioned earlier, when multiplied by 48, will become 34,560, which forms the total number of Shadavas. And then Audava-Kutatana Sankhya, Gadyau, Dhadyau, Nishadadyau, Chaturbhedaha, Shadauduvaha, Ashtavanyet Vidhetyevam, Chatvarimshati me kramaha, Savimshatau Shate Taischa, Gunite Ashtau Shatanitu, Chatvari cha Sahasrani Sankhya, Panchasvareshviti. The original series are 40 in all, which when multiplied by 120 bring the total Audava to 4,800. Then he talks about the Chatusvara-Kutatana Sankhya, enumeration of the tetratonix. Chatusvareshu Nyadyau Dvau Chaturtha Dvadashapare Kramad Vidheti Dvatrimshat Chaturvimshati Tadita Shatani Saptashta Shashtya Syat Chatusvara Samvitihi. Among the tetratonix, the two commencing with Ni are fourfold, while the other 12 original series are twofold. These 32, that is 24 with 2 Murchanas. When multiplied by 24, it becomes 768. So he keeps on giving so many numbers. So that becomes very difficult. And we will move on to the Trisvara Kutatana Sankhya, like that. He talks about so many permutational note series. And finally, he comes up with this Kutatana Prastaraha. Here, Kramam Nyasya Svaraha Sthapyaha Purvah Paradadaha Sachedupari Tatpurvah Parastu Uparivartinaha Mulakrama Kramat Prushthe Sheshaha Prastara Idrishaha. So, Sarigama Padhani is the original order of the 7 notes. The word Krama has been taken as the Murchanas, has a different meaning here. Every preceding note has to be placed below the succeeding one. So he talks about Khandameru. Saptadyekanta Koshtanam Adhodaha Saptapanktayah Tasvad Adyayam Adya Koshthe Likhedekam Pareshu Kham. Vedyatanasvaramitanyastet Teshveva Loshtakan. So the construction of the permutation indicator. Koshtha means a chamber or an inner apartment, a storeroom or space surrounded by walls. Here it is used in the sense of an enclosed space, which in this case is in the form of a square. So he says, take 7 series of squares, commencing with 7 squares, ending with one arranged one below the other. So he talks about the procedure for finding out the indicated note series. Uddishta Vidhi, he says. Here, Swaran Mulakramasya Antyat Purvam Yavatitha Swaraha Uddishta Uddishtantyah Tavatithe Koshthe Adho Loshtakam Kshipet. So take a pebble, let the pebble be placed in the column square below the respective 0 in the first series. The pebble movement starts with the last note of the note series indicated from left to right. And it is ordered by dropping the note ascertained progressively. The number of the indicated note series would be obtained by adding up the figures. And he talks about the Nashtavidhi also. Then खण्डमेरुतः एकस्वरादितानानां संख्या परिज्ञानोपायः. The number of permutational note series in each of the series as shown by the permutation indicator. Then he talks about Shuddhatana Namani, Shadja Gramastha, Shadava Shuddhatanaha, and then Madhyama Gramastha, Shadava Shuddhatanaha. Then he talks about Savitre, Chardha, Savitri, so many shlokas he gives. And then Shadja Gramastha, Audava Shuddhatanaha, Ida Purushamedhyascha, Purushamedhascha, and all those things. And Shuddhatananam, Vaidika Namnam, Tattad Yajna Phalam. So he talks about the Audava combinational note series of the Madhyama Grama. Then Tad Yajna Nama Yas Yaha Tanaha Tasya Tat Phalamishyate. The functional purpose of the Vedic names of combinational note series. So it is believed that the note series bearing the name of a particular Vedic sacrifice is effectual in bringing about the corresponding benefit. So Gandharve Ganecha Shuddha Kuta Tananam Upayogah. Specific use of the combinational and permutational note series in Gandharva Gana. So Gandharve Murdhana Sthanaha Shreyase Shruti-choditaha Gane Sthanasya Labhena Te Kutaha Cha Upayoginaha. In the context of Gandharvam, it is the ancient name for what later came to be known as Marga Sangeeta. So that happens only with one practicing Nada Yoga or Nadopasana. The Murchana and the combinational note series have been ordained in the Vedic lore for the attainment of beatitude. So in Ganam, to be understood as Desi, these along with the permutational note series are useful in obtaining sthana. Sthana is nothing but Adhara Shruti according to Kallinatha. Simha Bhupala interprets it as sthaya, a melodic phrase. Kallinatha says it is relevant to Murchana and Shuddhatana. Simha Bhupala says it is relevant to Kutatana. So all these serves as the canvas for melodic diversity. So I think we will stop here about this, and I would like you all to sing or play with your instrument and show how the murchanas are arrived at. So these are the topics we discussed in the last 3-4 sessions. Okay. Yes, please. Any questions?
Namaskaram.
Namaste.
I can't differentiate between the Grama and Murchana. மூர்ச்சனாங்கிறது வந்து நம்ம ஆரோகணம் அவரோகணம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, அது மாதிரிதான் அப்படின்னா இப்ப கிராமா வந்து நம்ம இப்போ வீணையில வந்து எல்லா சொரஸ்தானமும் இருக்கு இல்லையா? அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு செட் ஆஃப் இது அது மாதிரி எடுத்துக்கணுமா அத?
See, what happens is Grama, all the swaras are there in Murchana also, in Grama also. But the difficulty would be when we have to apply those swaras. See, if you there are so many items in the kitchen, but you can't use everything for cooking. No, at the same time, only certain things for preparing sambar, certain items for rasam, certain items for preparing some puliogarai or whatever. Roti you want to prepare, you use some other items like that. Grama has all the swaras, but what you use for your work, that is Murchana. Now you have Sampurna Ragas. There all the seven swaras are used, isn't it? But that doesn't mean you will be using all the Shuddha swaras and Vikrita swaras together. It's not possible, isn't it?
So what difference does it make between Murchana and Raga?
Raga is the further development of from Murchana. Anyhow, we will be dealing with Raga Vivekadhyaya, no, next. Once we complete this Svaragatadhyaya, then you will get more clarity. Today's class was more of maths than music.
That's very interesting.
Very
Yeah,
difficult.
it's really mind-boggling. Cannot
Yes.
imagine the
See,
combinations.
just to go through the text, we are finding it so difficult. How he has done so much of work, isn't it?
This Nashta Uddishta is also used in the Chanda Shastra. Actually, then Nashta Uddishta is actually, if you have a list of combinations, you know the swaras, then you can
Yes.
find the number. Or
Yes.
if you know the number, you can find the swaras. That is
Yes.
Nashta and Uddishta.
Yes.
So that is a mathematical, it's like you are converting a decimal to binary or binary to decimal number. It is exactly the same thing.
Yes, definitely. I'm scared of maths, huh?
That's exactly what we, while teaching music for the beginners, we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Instead of sarigama, rigama, pa, we just ask numbers and ask them to proceed
Yes.
because they are just serial combinations. No? So,
Yes.
does it mean like that?
What?
The Nashta and Uddishta, does it, or if you take a particular note, the second note from the particular note or third note from the is, does it mean that number or anything like how we say sa is equal to 1 and re is equal to 2, something like that?
No, not like that. Nashta, that you will be skipping one swara. See, if you take up this thing, like, can somebody sing this Murchanas? Then it would be more clear actually. One actually, I found one Siddhant Pruti. He has sung beautifully. You can. I'll just show how I understand. Just a minute. Mm. So Khandameru, how he has what I understand is, I'll take Shankarabharanam, which is popular ragam, and Hindustani Bilawal, this, Sare ga ma pa da di so sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Now you take re ga ma pa da ni sa. What you do is shift your shadja to re.
So this is the Graha Bedam.
Like Graha Bhedam, but it's a bit different. Huh? Sa re ga ma pa pa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So like that, he has that Siddhant Pruti. I'll share the link in our WhatsApp group. You listen to him. Actually, he has done a beautiful job of Murchanas. So for each, you shift one swara, and that will give you different perspective about the Khandamir, how to understand it.
Actually, this term Kandameru, just a week ago, I was listening to the last year's Music Academy
Huh.
sessions.
Uh,
So somebody from the audience, they said, I think it was Saras J ma'am or someone. She said that they used to place a small piece of wood or something like a bridge in between, in the middle of the tambura to play a different shruti.
okay.
Because suppose you have only one tambura and you want to use it for a violin concert or a veena concert, and then you have to raise the shruti and sing for a vocal concert like that. To just to vary the, like in veena we have the frets so that it alters the shruti. Same way they used to place a bridge, small bridge in between, and make the
Okay.
shruti, vary the shruti, it seems. So
Okay.
this is talking about that as a kandameru.
Okay. Okay. Actually, if
So,
you watch some of the Hindi movies, no, all these concepts they have introduced in movies also. This Amol Palekar's movie, one movie is there. I think it is Golmaal. Sa re ga ma ma sa re ga ga sa re ma ga sa. See, so beautiful. In a casual way, the classical music is brought into movies. So when I read this, no, when I was reading, I was going through this text. That time suddenly I remember, oh, movies also have employed Sharngadeva's works. So that is.
likewise, Kandameru maybe like from the re fret, the fret is, you can equate that fret as Meru, right? The distance will vary if you put the Meru there.
Yes,
So
yes.
from there, if you shift, like what you say, the Swarasthanas will get shifted from there.
Yes, yes.
It
And
means
he suggests actually that Siddhant Pruti, he suggests we should listen to Bade Ghulam Ali Khan or somebody. I think Bade Ghulam Ali Khan, who has sung Malcolms, and he has done this Murchana, this thing, Khandamir, whatever. So please do go through the video again, and then read a lot. And next
sir has
session.
composed,
Huh?
my Lalgudi sir has composed a Tilana where he, that Vishra Shivaranjini Tilana, he has just introduced it, Shruti Bedam in the
Oh, wow, excellent.
Saga Madani Sa Mani Sa Sa Ni Da Ma Ga Ma Re Ga, like Sa Re Ga Pa Da Sa Sa Da Pa Ga Re Sa Sa Re Ga Sa Re Ga Ga Pa Da Sa Re Ga 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 Re Sa Da Pa Ga Pa Re Ga Sa Ga Ma Sa Ga Pa Sa Ga Sa Ga Ma Da Ni Sa sa ni da ma ga ma sa ga. It is like Sunadara Vinodini. You get Sunadara Vinodini. Re ga pa da sa re sa da pa ga pa re ga sa re ga sa sa re ma pa ni sa ni pa ma re ma sa ri ni sa Revati. Get Revati, then sari ga pa da sa da pa ga re ga sari da sa. Like it goes like Shivaranjani.
Okay. So you have learned that Tilana?
I haven't learned it directly. I have only listened to it.
Okay.
Very
You learn
listening.
and play it in the class one day.
Yes, definitely.
It adds value to the sessions, no? Because we are dealing with theory. Unless you come up with some instrument or
Practical.
practical demonstration, it won't be, people won't be able to understand fully.
Yeah, we cannot relate what is said in the past
So
and
next
what is
session, can you play? In the next session, can you play?
not immediately. Maybe the week next.
Okay,
Because
2 weeks after this session.
some recordings are there for this week and slightly
Okay.
busy.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Hemavati Mahodaya, you have any question?
When we learnt long back, we were taught this phrase, Shankara Todi Kalhari Nata. So when you from Shankara Abharanam, you shift each swaram. These are the ragas you get. Karahara Priya, Todi, Kalyani, Harikambodi, Natabhairavi. And long back, once M. Chandrasekhar had done that. He had taken that Mohanam, and from that, by shifting Hindolam, Sudadanyasi, Vasanti, like that, long back M. Chandrasekhar had given a program. Like how she showed here in that this thing, shifting. That was a very beautiful all India radio program.
Can you share those audio links
I
so that
wouldn't
everybody?
know.
We
Probably
can
if
see
I
that
look.
it's very easy. We can see.
Yeah.
Sada pa ga ri sa re ga pa da sa re sada pa ga ri sa ga sa re ma pa ni sa ni pa ma re sa Madhimavati varum re ga.
Probably with Veena you can show.
Yeah, on the Veena it's even more easy.
It's very easy to.
Okay, so next session you sing and let us start with your singing of Murchanas or this shifting of swaras, and then we will take up the next topic. We'll do that. Lal Goodies, we can take it after 2 weeks.
Yes, I will definitely do.
Okay, so let
But
us.
nobody will know that he has done such a thing unless you sing it in vocal. Because it's all Swarasthanas, no? So, but the Gamakas will vary when the Raga changes. The Gamakas will vary, so it's very subtle. You cannot really.
Lalgudi, of course, he was a giant in Tadagnyana also. So once I tried to learn that Revati Tilana, very difficult. Okay, anyhow, we'll conclude the session. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Thank you, Mahodaya.
Dhanyawad.
Thank you.